I don't even know how to start out this video. And I'm going to, you know, try not to be too emotional, but already now, yeah. I thought that I had everything figured out when I pressed the record button, like what I wanted to say. Like going over what I wanted to say, like, I don't know. I think it's like a way of dealing with things, you know, that you just put your logic mind on, and you feel like you need to go after a set of rules. I don't even know why I say what I say. I don't know if it makes sense. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and, you know, talk with you guys because I have missed it a lot. But I just wanted to wait. And for people who, I mean, obviously by the title you probably know what this is about, but yeah. So a week ago we lost our mother very suddenly, very unexpected. It's funny that now that I sit here, I don't know what to say. It's so strange. Like before I knew what to say and how I wanted to say it, and now I'm just, yeah. But yeah. So it was very suddenly. She has, you know, for the longest time she hasn't really been feeling good, but it's been more like, you know, for many years she had like an injury with her back, so she always like suffered, or she always had back problems. That was really hard for her. And like the recent years she had, like, you know, stuff with the stomach and stuff like that. Yeah. And because of all this COVID situation, I am very grateful that I have spent a lot of time with her. A lot of time. Yeah. We had the funeral not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. I don't even know what day we have today. So I will write it on the screen because I don't know what day we have. It's all blurry. But the day before the funeral, they finally figured out what her cause of death was. And there was a lot of mix-ups because of the COVID situation. Like, I think there is 8 cases at the moment at the hospital, because they mixed up some cases, because we get told straight away that my mom's body got like released, because that is like a sudden death. Obviously they have to go in and, you know, see if it, you know, what happened. So we, you know, obviously we planned out the funeral and stuff like that, and my brothers were calling, you know, to get everything set in stone. And I don't know what you call this in American, but you know, you have like a billman, as we call it in Denmark. In Denmark. And she's been like, you know, helping us with like what she had to wear, and, you know, like planning out the funeral and stuff like that. And she told us very fast after, or I think it was some days after that, my mom's body got released, and that it was a natural cause of death. But she said that she didn't know that much more than that, so obviously my brothers called around to figure out, and it turns out that there was this mix-up, so my mother's body was not released. And there was something about a young doctor who mixed up some cases, I don't know, and it doesn't matter. I'm just rumbling, I feel. But, you know, they then, a day before the funeral, finally find out that it was natural. It was, I don't know, again, I don't know what you call it in America, but it was a heart attack, or yeah, I guess you call it that. So, she didn't feel anything, yeah, so I'm happy for that. But it was a very dramatic day. It was, and it was very unreal, and I'm happy I was there. So it was, you know, yeah. So we had the funeral yesterday. No, see, now I don't, my mind is all mushy. But we had the funeral, and it was a very beautiful funeral. And I am going to show some clips and stuff, and I might jump back and forth because, again, I thought I had everything figured out, but it turns out that I don't. But I really needed the time to just, you know, be with my family, and I wanted to wait till after the funeral with coming on here and talk with you guys. And I want to say thank you all so much for all the messages, the emails, the thoughts, the prayers, you know, everything. It's, you know, it means so much. And also for people who've been there for me. It's a strange time because you really realize what's important in your life, and you realize what's not. And you also see who is really there for you, which has also been a little bit of a shock for me. I have communicated with my mother after she passed, and I will get into a little bit like that. But it's been strange. Yeah, and I'm like my father and some of my brothers, two of my brothers actually, like we have a tendency to keep it in. If, you know, we are sad, we don't really show it, but this really made us show our emotions and be close together and realize that family is important. Yeah. And I want to say thanks to one of my lovely viewers, you know who you are, who sent flowers to me. That was very unexpected, and yeah, I was crying so much. And Kiri and her boyfriend, sister and mother sent flowers, which also made me cry. Yeah. So I'm grateful for that. And the one who's really been there for me is Amanda. Every day she called me, every day she wrote to me. We've been talking all the time. She was there for the funeral, which I'm so grateful for. You really realize who your real friends are in a time where you really are in a position where you really need people. And I have had a hard time like reaching out in the past. I have always had this feeling like, I don't need people around me. I'm fine. But you really realize what's important and who's really there for you, And Amanda has been the one who's been there for me a lot. Amanda was also close to our families. She knew my mom. It's like Amanda told me, like, she was also my Muchi. I have someone say you don't need to be so tough. Yeah, because I always, if I feel sad, I always I want to be like, okay, stop crying, because it's, it's, yeah. But it really meant a lot to me that Amanda was there. And it's so funny because of the COVID situation, we could only be 31 in the church. And all places were filled up. And Amanda was in the back because that, they look at like family is being put together, or people who are living together, stuff like that. So she was in the back of the church, and I didn't see her before that we went out of the church. My brothers and some of my mother's brothers carried the casket. And when I saw it, I've been tough all through the church, through the ceremony and stuff like that. I've been, I didn't cry. I was just like, I actually had, I don't know where it is right now, but I had an amethyst in my hand, all the, sitting in the church. And I was, I was being tough, because that is what I'm good at sometimes, not showing emotions. And I didn't, yeah. But when I saw Amanda, damn. And also after, like, we threw roses, on her grave, or, yeah, on her casket. And she gave me a big hug after, and that's when I really started crying. So I'm very grateful that Amanda was there, and she's, continuously there. And I know it doesn't matter if someone is not there, and that's also what my mother has told me, like, it doesn't matter if there's someone that you thought would be there who is not there, because it's not important. Yeah. It is something that I've been dealing with, like, I can be very, like, if I don't feel someone is there for me, I have some kind of grudge or something like that. And that's something that, I have, released, that I am releasing and learning to release, that it doesn't matter. Because the most important people in my life will be there, such as Amanda in my family and, other people. Even people that I went to school with sent flowers. There were so many flowers in the church. And on the grave after. And I hope that I can remember everything. I don't know how long this is going to be. And I might just, ramble, but I think I just need to just talk about it and explain. The camera died, or the camera stopped. I just need to, talk and explain things. And I know a lot of you guys who've been following me for a long time, you obviously want to know, what happened and how I am and what, has been going on. But we have this thing in Denmark. I think it's something people can choose, but it was important for my brothers that when she picks up my mom from the hospital, obviously, she drove past her home, or our home, and you know, we all were there, and then you put flowers, you know, in front of the home, and then you follow the hearse, is that what you call it, the car, you follow the car to the church. Yeah, so we did that, and it was very beautiful. And actually I used the flowers from my earth angel, my subscriber, who sent me flowers, and I used some of the flowers that I got from Kiri and her family to put on the casket while they were driving. And I'm going to obviously show you guys a little clips of it. There was a special song that popped up while we were sitting in the car. I was sitting in the car with my father, and my brothers were like in their own separate cars with with their kids, or some of them. My brother from Copenhagen, there was just one of the sons that came because of, you know, the whole situation, and we couldn't be as many in the church. But there was this song, I can't remember it right now, but I'm going to, you know, find out what song it is. Yeah, but it was very fitting. I thought, I know my mom, you know, because there was 2 songs after each other. It was like, yeah, that makes sense. And it was so funny when we started from the house. I saw, I think it was swans flying, like a bunch of swans, but they had a long neck, so I think it was swans. It can be the other animals. And at night, when we left the graveyard, because we wanted to see all the flowers, and my niece, I think it is, wanted to sing, you know. I'm also going to show you guys that, because that was very beautiful, and something happened too. But there was this once again, so it's very symbolic. There was a lot of symbols and some, you know, symbolic ways, or symbolic things. But also something that Amanda wrote to me. She said, did you pay attention to the numbers, or the numbers plate? And I did pay attention to 55. And then I think it was 101. So yeah. And Amanda explained that it has something to do with stepping into a new portal, or there's something about a portal with that ancient number, which is very beautiful if you think about that it's on a hearse. Is that, I don't know if that's what you call it. I think that's what you call it. Yeah. And we got to see my mom in the casket before, which was good for me. It was good for all of us, especially my brothers, because my brothers didn't, you know, see her that much, especially my brother, who came from Copenhagen, so far away. Yeah. Yeah. And my mom, I just saw like, oh, my mom had like a picture of me when I was a child, a little picture, that she always slept with that picture under her pillow. And that was one thing that I said to the girl who was, you know, preparing everything, that it needed to be under her pillow. But when we saw her, we also gave her like a teddy bear. She was holding it in her hand, and the picture was above the teddy bear. And, you know, I had a moment where I was like, should I say that it should be under her pillow? But then I heard my mom, it doesn't matter if it's under the pillow, as long as it's with me. So it was very beautiful, and she was very beautiful. And I picked out colors. Yeah, the clothes, it was very important. Yeah. And her, you know, her grandchildren, like my nieces, my two girls, yeah, my brother's 2 daughters got to see her, and yeah, it took very hard on them at the funeral, because both of them just broke down and completely. So I was holding the little one of them I was holding her hands while we were following, you know, from the church and to where she got buried. We had to, you know, walk across a road and stuff like that and follow. There was even police cars stopping there. That was very beautiful. Everything was just, you know, yeah. It was very beautiful. But I was holding her, holding her hand. And my brother's wife held her other hand because the mother obviously took care of the, you know, the other daughter. Yeah. But it was very beautiful, everything. And I'm happy I got to see her. I'm happy that I got to spend time with her. Oh my god, I just saw a seagull. Seagull. Is that what you call it? It's something, it's interesting because my mother was very spiritual and she had tarot cards. And they are Danish, so I gave, you know, most of them to my nieces so they could get them. But we went to her apartment and she had like a box where you can put tarot cards in. And I took that box. I didn't know there was a tarot deck in it, but there was. And I felt that, like, she wanted me to keep that. Like, that is the tarot card that I can use if I want to communicate with her or if I want to have a message and stuff like that. And I can't remember if it was some days after where I used the card, and there was a card that fell out where there was seagulls on it. And ever since, now and then I see seagulls, you know. So I feel like it's a sign. Yeah. I'm trying to remember everything that I wanted to say. One thing also, after, was that after? I think it was before actually. After the funeral, when we went, you know, obviously the church, and, you know, they have to use some time, I think it's 3 hours, where they just, you know, fill it up with dirt and all that stuff. And put all the flowers that's been in the church, they put it on the grave. So we went back after that. And I took pictures. I think I took, I don't know, 4 pictures. I'm going to show you guys the pictures. But there's one picture where at the bottom there is like a, shadow. Stuff like that. And my brother Henrik, who is from Copenhagen, he is, as like me, you know, we are very spiritual. We are, you know, using this, like communicating with the other side and stuff like that. And he also said, well, it looks like a manifestation of something. And I showed it to the rest of the family, and everyone was like, oh my god, what is that? Moon wanted to come in. Hey Moony. She's been with me all the time. She's been sleeping with me every night ever since it happened. Right, girl? And the funny thing is, sometimes she is like looking up and she's like doing the slow blink, is it blink? What do you call that? Like she's doing this up in the air. So I know it's because of my mom is there. But yeah, there was this shadow. And then one of my nieces, she wanted to sing for my mom in the church, but we weren't allowed to do that. And they had the thing where, you know, the church girls, I don't know what you call that, they were singing the songs that, you know, our family picked out. And us sitting in the church, we were just allowed to hum with this, you know, with the songs. It's such a strange situation to be in, to have a funeral in a COVID situation, because, you know, there's so many things that you have to think about and so many things you can do. And so my niece wanted to sing, but she wasn't allowed to. So I said to her, what if we go back and sing for, you know, for Muchi, like we call him Muchi, like just us close family. And then she can stand next to the grave and she can sing what she want to sing. And she agreed to that, and I think that was also like a better option for her, so because she totally broke down when she had to throw the rose into the grave. She just, her legs just gave up and she fell to her knees. So we were all there for her. It was very hard, all of us. And she didn't have that much, you know, it doesn't matter why, but she didn't have that much contact with her brothers, and everyone was there. Everyone was there. Like everything was forgotten, all the fights or whatever. There's one thing she told me when she came to me yesterday to say goodbye. She told me, which is also something that I feel that is good for you guys to know, all the fights or the worries or whatever, you know, anger, whatever we have had on this earth, doesn't matter. It's nothing that the person who's passing over, they don't feel that anymore. They don't. It's like a release. And it's interesting because my brother has had a hard time with it, because he didn't really see our mom. You know, they were supposed to have Christmas with us, but it didn't happen. And he had so many skyldfølelser. I don't know what you call it in America. Override it. Because he didn't see her. And he found a new series on Netflix. Is it Surviving Death, I think it's called? That really helped him through that. So if some of you guys are dealing with grief or stuff like that, or if you're just spiritual or believing in paranormal, watch it, because it's very, very insightful. I started up watching it yesterday, and wow, a lot of things make sense, also with what my mom told me. But yeah, I'm going to put in the clip of Maya singing, because I want you guys to see it as well. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, or all of the footage, because he wanted to sing 2 songs. But I'm going to show a little bit, and then later on I might actually put up like the full on, if she wants to.
You ready?
Når jeg ser på dig, jeg ligger ligesom så stille, og virker ubeskriveligt billeder imellem dine mange sjove dyr. Men i drømmelejen finder vi 2 veje ud mod nye eventyr. Når stjernerne på himlen sejler du med mig. Vi sejler over vandet og ind i drømmelandet du og jeg. Læg nu tryk din hånd i min. Under stjernerne på himlen sejler du. Luk nu stille dine øjne, så er vi på vej. Så her alligevel, og du skal ikke græde, og mit hjerte bor hos dig. Jeg synger dig en hemmelig sang, der altid finder vej. Min afskedssang forglemmer jeg, og en vemodig guitarsklang siger, at jeg er på mig selv, når jeg er her hos dig. Til du igen er i min fald, forglem mig.
But yeah, it was very beautiful, and as you guys just saw, there was the bird suddenly just, you know, hi, was there. Moon is back. Another thing why I know why Moon is here. But another thing that happened also that I want to explain to you guys, when we were sitting in the church, you know, the casket is, you know, like up front, and then me, my brother, and my father was sitting, you know, my father was closest to the church, or the casket. Where's your baby girl? And suddenly I saw a wolf in front of the casket. I was like, what is that? And who is that? Because it was not a wolf that I have ever worked with. I thought it was Isla, my white wolf, but it wasn't. It wasn't. And it was not grey, and it was not Shiva, because Shiva can turn to a wolf sometimes. It was not a wolf. And it was just sitting there, like looking at the casket. And at the end it was like howling, like up to the sky. It was very, yeah, that happened. And then yesterday, I think it was, I did a meditation. I wanted to, like, you know, I felt like I needed to talk with her. And I saw the wolf again in the vision. And the wolf came to me first, and I can't remember everything, but I think it was a he. He said that there is a special mission, that my mom has a mission now. And that she... I can't remember, it was a lot of things. But then my mom came. And she also, you know... I'm gonna tell that after, but... She's always been very bubbly, you know. Before this, she really, you know, had a lot of pain, but she always been like making jokes, and she had the sense of humor that I have. What's up, Mooney? She's looking over here now. What's up? Totally losing it now. But yeah, she said to me a lot of things. She explained this, like, there's no pain, there's no anger, there's no hate, there's no, you know, there's only forgiveness and love. I felt this like unconditional love that I can't explain. And my mom had like some amazing abilities. I know we all have them, but I remember when I was younger, she could, you know, if someone passed over, she spoke through that person, or that person spoke through her. It was, you know, it was fascinating. But when she got sick, she kind of lost the touch with that ability, and I always tried to get it back with her. She was always like, no, you know, she fell down like a hole when she was alive. But I also know it doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter. But she took her hands on my chest and she gave me, like, she said to me that I have the powers inside of me, but she gave the strength from her for me to open up for that power. I lost my tissue. God damn it. So, yeah. I think it might be my mom. I heard my mom say it doesn't matter, because it's a beautiful thing to show your tears, because it's yeah, release. It's an emotion. Yeah. But she told me that she would always be there, always, when I needed her. And when I didn't need her, if I, you know, she would always be there to support me and to show me the way. And then she had those big wings, and then she walked away. And the wolf was, you know, still next to me. She said a lot of other things, but I can't remember it. But I remember that she said I should repeat what she said. And there was something about I release the need to know. I open up for my abilities. I'm ready to use my abilities. I said a lot of things, I can't remember it now. But I opened up for the new. And, you know, the wolf after said to me that I would see new things, I would feel new things, that I shouldn't be afraid of it. I should be aware and open up for it. Moon, what are you doing? So yeah. And the day we had the funeral, I spoke with Amanda in the morning, and she was crying and said Muji came to me and said farewell. And she said, like, please take care of her. And Amanda was like, of course I'm going to take care of her. And then she said that my mom acted like silly. Like she was, you know, silly and, you know, jokey and stuff. And my mother had been like, you have to be serious. And oh yeah, one thing that she said to Amanda, it's so funny with I think she said something about we have to celebrate. And that's one thing that my mom said to me too. We have to celebrate now. There's no, you know, don't be sad. We have to celebrate life. And one thing she said to me yesterday was, promise me to live your life to the fullest. Don't be afraid, you know. Don't hold back, she said. Live your life to the fullest. Yeah. But yeah, so when my mom died, I was here. So I was there when my mom died. Not in the same room, but my brother found her and, you know, did see, what do you call it, you know, called the ambulance and they were on the way, but he did the, I can't remember, like, you know, pushing to get air. And I was, you know, stepping away a little bit because I didn't want to see that. It was just, you know, yeah. Whew. And I remember that I was, you know, in another room and I saw my mom outside doing, you know, it's so silly because I saw her do this. Like, if she did that, I was like, what the hell? Like, you know, she was just being free and being, you know, it was so silly. And after I was, you know, I went a little bit away and I took a moment and I said, please, you know, you have to come back, you have to fight, you have to stay here. The battery died, but I saw my grandmother. I heard my mom say, grandmother is here, and I saw her. And at that moment I was like, no, no, no. Because I knew at that point that, you know, I was probably nothing, you know, the doctors could do anymore. They tried, you know, for, I don't know, I have no time feeling, but they tried for a long time to get her back, but she didn't want to. It was her time. But before that, the doctors came, or the, you know, whatever you call that, my, you know, my brother obviously, you know, got tired in his arms from, you know, doing the, I don't know what you call that, so I had to do that. And it was the hardest thing for me. I never yelled so much and cried so much. And when the doctors came, I also yelled at him. I was like, you know, please take over, please, you know. And he was, you know, he was well like, I'm here. And they took over and, you know, they did everything they could. But it was just, you know, yeah, it was her time. She was supposed to go. But that was also why it was important for me to see her after, you know, and not have that as the last. But, you know, but everything is healed from that. And Amanda, actually, I was so grateful for her because Amanda created a meditation for me that I was listening to. And in the meditation, you know, I suddenly felt this like pain in my stomach, and I saw this knot that got released. And when I spoke with Amanda after, she said that is so crazy because when she did some healing from far away with me, and she said that she could see the chakras that she felt was like a little blocked was my heart chakra, my sacred chakra, I think it was, I also, you know, with the stomach. I also released that, and it helped also because I was like, did I do it right? You know, I had like, did she die because of me, because I didn't do the stuff right? But you know, everyone told me like, you did everything you could, you did it, you know, yeah. And my mom also came to me and said, you did everything you could. But you were supposed to. It was just her time to go home. And it's funny because one of my father's sister is someone who is also very spiritual, and she's also doing like, you know, communicating with spirits and like doing healing and stuff like that. And she came over to me in the church and she said to me, your mom is home now. Yeah. She said it in a way where I felt so peaceful when she said it in the church. Like, your mom is home. Oh, yeah. But I feel like it was very important for me to talk with you guys about it and explain everything, you know, get it out, not keep it in. It's one thing that I learned. Don't keep, you know, also like, don't keep anger, or don't be bitter. Because it doesn't matter. There's also something my brother told me, like, you know, because he's been a little bit mad at my mom because he didn't want to go to the doctor, and, you know, she was just like, you know, sitting, not doing anything. And my brother was always like, you know, oh, like, why doesn't she just take herself together? And I think that's why he feels so much guilt. He felt, I think, you know, he did also get a message from my mom that it doesn't matter. But it showed us how important it is to talk with your family, because you don't know how, when someone goes again. One moment she was happy and smiling and, you know, talk with me, and some hours later she was gone. It's crazy how fast it can go. Yeah. And I spoke with her at the funeral. My mom's brothers came over, you know, and talked, and also said like that they wish that they had spoken more with her. That it wasn't that you know, all that stuff, like, how silly. And they, you know, each of us went over to the grave and said something, and one of her brothers really stood there long talking with her. It was very healing. There's, you know, something got healed from this passing. And, you know, from all endings there's new beginnings, and there's something coming out of, you know, grief and stuff like that. And it's been very healing for our family, in a way. I know it sounds silly, but I know a lot of you know what I mean. Releasing whatever fights or whatever's, you know, whatever has been in the past. Doesn't matter. It's earthly ego tricks, you know. And that we need to, also because we are in the age of Aquarius, we need to realize that we are stepping into a new world where the vibrations are high. So there is no space for anger or whatever else is. There's no space for that anymore. That's I really realized that. I feel like my life has turned like upside down. And today is a day where I realize, like, you know, everything is going to be okay. But when, you know, looking back at older videos, it's so strange because I don't recognize myself. It's I don't know how to explain it. I'm still, you know, the bubbly person, you know, but I'm obviously still grieving and learning to deal with this and to handle my emotions in a new way. But I know there has been a big shift that I can't explain. Yeah. And, you know, Denmark went on, you know, or they have now closed us down until February. So I can't work with the photography. So, you know, I am going to start up with doing more videos on YouTube, because that is the way I make money right now. And we all want to, you know, obviously pay for the funeral and the stone and all this stuff, you know. Wow, it's so expensive. How crazy is that? That it's so expensive to die, you know. It's crazy. There might be some help that we can get, but it's, you know, obviously me and my brothers, you know, and my father are the ones who are, you know, obviously paying for it, because my mom didn't really have anything. So if anyone want to help with that, you know, please let me know, write me a mail. And everyone can obviously donate if you want to. It's not to, you know, I'm not asking for it, but if people want to be a part of it and help, then you can. And obviously you can also book private readings and healing sessions again. I just needed a week where I didn't do anything, where I was just like, you know, grieving and healing. Oh, yeah. So I am back. I am going to film again, because I need to get a routine in my life again. And I know that's also something that my mom told me. And she also told me, don't worry about the money thing. Don't worry. Everything is taken care of. It's just our earthly, you know, brains, our egos are like worried, like, oh my god, what now? What are we going to do? How are we going to do that? So I know everything is going to be okay. But you guys know, you know, I'm very honest, and I'm very, you know, yeah, very honest with you guys. But again, thank you guys so much for, you know, being there for me and for my family, and sending your prayers and messages and all the stuff. That really, it meant so much to me, more than I can, you know, describe. All the love, it was very beautiful. Yeah, and I probably said everything I needed to say. Again, this is probably also long, but I haven't posted for a while, so maybe it's good that you guys have something to watch. And then the next days I'm going to start up, you know, doing the full moon in Leo, which is very important for me. Obviously because I'm a Leo rising, but I feel like there's something important by it, or with it. I also got a lot of my mom's crystals, so I'm going to put them out in the full moon and charge them up and all that. I actually have this one that is from her, and this one. Now you guys know where I have my crystal thing from and all that. Yeah. But I'm happy that I, you know, got that. There's another thing that I'm gonna show you guys at another time, but there's a special ring with this amethyst in, and it's a ring that my grandmother had. Now I had it, I don't have it. But it's very dear to me. But I feel this is going to be it for now. I feel like I said everything I needed to say, and then I'm going to get back, you know, with readings and everything, because I feel like I'm ready now. Before I was not ready, but I took the time, even though it was hard for me, because in the back of my mind I was like, I need to film, I need to film, I need to do something, and I was too worried also about money and stuff like that, which is so silly. Again, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. So, but I'm back, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have made it this far, that means the world. But thank you guys again. Make sure to like and subscribe. It's so weird for me to say that again. become a part of this family if you are in need of a private reading, healing session, or removal of blocks. All information is down below. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon. Bye.